Well, morning, folks. We're sleep deprived yet and still waking up like the rest of us. Emotionally screwed up. You're my zombies out there. It's 5:31 in the morning, West Coast time for a Sunday, the 15th of September, 2024. They're griping and grumbling. We were John C. Rosamond, California, still waking up here and getting his computers working. Not even live or awake yet for this morning. Well, I was coming across stuff last night and this morning that I felt needed my attention to it. Attention for details. Or at least for generalized information, anyway. Some things I kept coming across that were just not exactly kosher to talk about because of things happening. How would you like to have a kid? And this one particular kid brings a piece of artillery. But not the hardware, but the software. Brings it to school. And yet another classmate happens to see this particular situation. Give me a second here. And has a meaning to go to the school officials. The school officials say, okay, fine. Thank you for reporting this. You're on suspension. We'll suspend the other person too. 2 days you get suspended. But thank you for bringing it up to our attention. You're punished. In one particular school, it happened. Private school. Somewhere out in Virginia Beach. A story I came across was like a few days ago. Where a boy happens to see a fellow classmate with a bullet. Not a spent shell, but an actual bullet. And because this is the age that we're living in right now, that we have to be afraid of, besides the hardware, it's the software. Because software usually comes out of the hardware and does the major injuries. And there is some kind of legal action happening against the school because of the situation. Yes, the boy was suspended for 2 days. And he comes back to the class. What's a different seating assignment because he doesn't want to be sitting by the kid he just reported on. Some other people will consider it, he's a rat fink. He's not a rat fink. This kind of day and age that we're living in, past 30 years or longer than that, we got people trying to kill each other in different places, including kids bringing in artillery and the software with it to do the damage. Yeah, there's an element of fear. There's a righteous need of fear on this one, and caution and prudence. But the problem is on this one, you got a school board, or actually a school system says, well, we thank you. You did the right thing, but you're still going to be suspended because it wasn't timely enough. Okay, so I take it next time there's a kid going to be seeing artillery or seeing a gun or anything else like that, he sees it, he's supposed to be yelling in the class, or she, and yelling and screaming their heads off saying, gun! If they happen to see any artillery, the only conclusion is, gun! So, that being screamed and yelled at people, telling people there is a gun! And they're supposed to be scaring the people and locking things down. Now, in that situation, is the kid going to be suspended as well? Because did he do it in a timely manner? And if he did do it in a timely manner, is he going to be punished because he did the right thing in a timely manner? You know, if we actually saw guns walking across school campuses when I was a lot younger, we're like, uh-oh, here we go again. They just rented another locker. And we did that in a public education system, in a public school, in a high school. We didn't have that situation happening in junior highs and elementary schools because in elementary schools we never had the locker, locker situation. But in junior highs we did have the locker situations. But nothing was said or done around the campus. We didn't see any of that kind of activity happening. Right now I'm trying to watch my dog and try to see how she's doing. Mama, right here, honey. Easy does it on your lips. Easy does it on your lips, honey. And that's got me concerned because things and times have changed so much since I became from a kid to an adult that things like that just upset me. That I can hear about a student who took action gets punished because they want to punish. No rhyme or reason. So yeah, I got an issue with that one. And I hope the parent wins on this one here. Because the kid reporting it is a whistleblower. And in that legality sense, there should not be punished because you're doing it for safety of others. But as I said before in junior high, we didn't have that situation. But in high school, yes, we did. Yes, we did. Every once in a while, we would have our lockers looked at. And it was surprising me to see that across the campus, from one small section of the campus, from main administration to units outside, that we'd see artillery, handguns, rifles. Whatever could be tucked away into a locker, that was the problem. There was rumors, people talking about it, saying about it, maybe reporting it in the school paper. But was there a lockdown during those days? No. We didn't have anybody shooting up the place. But they took advantage of rumors and did expulsions, did suspensions. But nobody had a conniption fit over the damn thing. This is public education, not a private school. So this is what private schools are going to take their time on this stuff. Try this one. Now we're talking about public education. Newport Richie. And I'm checking all these little feeds that pop into my YouTube here. So how about this? Dark night, 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Child wants to get from point A to point B. In order to do that, she would need to have transportation to get from her home to the school or from a pickup place. Problem is, she lives in an area that's out of bounds, so she has to take transportation. Not being driven in by the parent. No, she takes a bike. And because the school board is saying, it's a 2-mile difference. If you're outside the difference there, you can't get a bus. Man. She lives just under a range where they got a 2-mile pickup zone. And according to the school system and the Board of Education, there's not enough buses. There's not enough money in the education system. Well, hell, your executive's getting paid, isn't he? Pay for a damn driver. Pay for another driver. We don't have enough buses. We don't have enough drivers. We can't do this for everybody on this one. Ah! Okay, legal. Get the damn warning changed. Or get an extension. Do something political at this point. How about even getting street lights in an area where safety is a factor? Because in this darkened area that the kid was riding her bike through, and she had all the necessary equipment. She had reflective tape. She had lights. She was visible. And a speeding driver goes through, hits her, stops, checks on her, and runs off. And yet somehow down, a little bit later on, he gets busted, or she gets busted, for hitting a kid. And the kid's laying in the street, dazed as hell. Gets sent to the hospital. Kid's fine. Kid's going to walk. Bumps, bruises, terrified. But she's going to go back to school. But the school board saying because she lived outside of a busing zone that she was in, she can't get the bus. It has to be 2 miles. You have to live within that 2 mile radius in your zone. If you don't, we can't help you. Ah! Well, we have to make exceptions for everybody over here. This is just nuts. Ah! Ah! So, you're living in a neighborhood, and you have a child that wants to be transported from place to place. And because your kid's outside the zone, don't get transported. And there's not enough, not enough buses to go out there to help you out. Because there's not much money in the budget for that crap. Seems to me the parents should be talking about this one to the school board and bellyaching at them, and then going to the state legislators of their town, of their community, and yell at them because there's not enough money in the budget for another bus over here because you got a kid damn near got killed in a hit and run. And where's the damn street lights in the area to prevent such a thing? Or try to prevent it anyway. In our example over here for Roseman, California, I call ourselves the armpit of the Antelope Valley. We're a community right next to Edward. If anybody happens to look at a Google map at this point over here, yes, ding, 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 Google map it. Google map the whole thing. There's not enough information on the story itself that I've come across to give me information about their school territory. I need more information about that one. I really do, because this is imperative. But this happened. Place Pasco County. Where was this at anyway? I need to go back into that story there. These links I have to put into my vids because I need more information. Bet you I'll pause just for a couple seconds here, okay? Okay, so we were talking Florida here. What old information that Google still has stored in the system? They've got several zones in their town for bus pickup for middle school. I'm assuming it is supposed to be middle school, but I think it's supposed to be elementary to middle school, somewhere in there. You got zones overlapping each other or connecting with each other. And because you're outside the range, why couldn't the other zone pick you up? I don't get it with the politics that they're playing over there. But I'd like to have that. It would be a suggestion for the parents to investigate this. If there's one parent that's already having problems with the school board, there's got to be more on that one. Because having a kid run over in the streets, because you can't have any lighting issues because they're trying to get to a school. So I don't get it with the school board and their budget issues. They're going to have to talk with the county and then have to talk with the state on that one. Good luck on that one. Let's see what else I was going to be talking about on this one here. Oh yes, back all behind the History Channel. Okay, so that been talked about. Now this one also gets my case. Freedom of Information Act. I didn't realize that the Freedom of Information Act would cost you a great deal of money. One particular student at a university was trying to get information out of them using the Freedom of Information Act. In order to stall on some of this information, in order to give the kid limited information, pay me $84,000, please. I got some money to print up the paperwork or to generate the email We need to make profit for the school. $84,000, please, if you want the information or not. For whatever kind of legal thing you got going on, I want $84,000 right now. Money, 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 money. If a student's already having problems with the university with the financial situations, imagine trying to bring up $84,000, what the system already knows and laughs his head off. But according to what federal law is, I think, when somebody was trying to tell me something on some YouTube thing, the Grand Valley student quoted, because some kind of action is going to be taken or some kind of research needed, the school's got to charge. So it's the state and federal, I guess. I don't know. That's going to be fought like crazy on that one. And I saw this story. It was already posted a few nights ago, so I'm just scratching my head on that one. But this is some of the stuff that I come across that stick in my craw sometimes. I'll wake up in the morning, I'm trying to find interesting stuff, and if I'm expanding it more to from the local stuff into the national stuff. There's one particular piece of story I still need to research. It's been out there a few days already. Concerning about someone who tried to survive 9/11 is being denied health benefits. Yeah, they got a story out there too on News Nation for that one. It says 911 officer battles cancer, denies pension benefits despite them surviving 9/11. Despite them guaranteeing that some of these people who actually survived the thing, would get benefits to be taken care of. But no, we got politics involved. And bureaucrats don't give a shit about people left and right. That's the problem. Better news is we have a little bit more of a containment going on with the local fires out here. Now Arizona's coming up with a 15,000 acre. There's another fire to be dealt with. Our own fires are getting contained a little bit better and better each day. And the arsonist who caused all three, by the way, he's in jail. He's facing mandatories. He's already been arraigned, so they're going to get a trial for this kid. You know, if I start to hear again about what a wonderful world we have, I think I'm going to scratch my head on that one. What a wonderful world we have if we wake up to it. Problem is, it's not a wonderful world. Try having one country with people with a bad attitude launches a missile into your own territory. Doesn't explode, just lands there and burns down a lot of brush and shrapnel. Yeah, people in Yemen, or some lunatic in Yemen, launches a missile at Israel, lands in an area close to a highway. Try waking up to that in the morning. Not fun? Well, I didn't think it would be fun. This is some of the stuff I come across. If a little bit of a side topper on this one, San Diego County, California. Sheriff's Department wants to change their title from a department to an office. It's the sheriff's office. It's not a department. They're elected officials, but they're not. No, they're not a department. They're an office. So apparently, the current sheriff down in San Diego County, California, has a burp her ass on this one because she wants to change things around, and it's going to cost the taxpayers out there money for it. Yeah, cough up some money, boys and girls. We need to change our image. We're changing it from the San Diego County Sheriff's Department to the San Diego County Sheriff's Office. But at the deputies' patches and in some of the cars we have out there, they say sheriff. Sheriff. Much like we have out here in Kern County. But we have a department. We have subdivisions in a lot of territories. But out in San Diego, the voters have got to decide whether or not if they actually want to have this or not, if they're going to be stuck with the bill on this. Because it's their tax money for a sheriff who wants to change the department name from a department to an office because they feel they are not a department. They are sworn officers, and therefore they are in an office. Really? Some people got ego issues left and right. Well, basically that's it.